EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for August 5th, 2022. It is Friday, end of the work week. And today's video forecast is proudly sponsored by McCall Collective Brewing. McCall's is a family-owned and operated business operating now in 2 locations in the Lehigh Valley. Their original Southside Allentown location, located at 102 East Susquehanna Street, which is open 7 days a week and features a full food menu, 17 different beers to choose from, local wine and cocktails. And their new location, McCall Collective Tap House in Trexlertown, located at 7743 Hamilton Boulevard. You can find 10 beers on draft along with a house-smoked barbecue menu that is open 6 days a week. For more information or to place online orders, visit their website, mccallcollectivebrewing.com. Proud sponsors of the Friday video forecast. So, first night, preview night of Music Fest is in the books. I was there last night. That's why I'm wearing the polo still. It's our EPAWA. You can see that there, little EPAWA polos that we wear. So that went last night. If you are looking for any of the other days of the fest, which now officially starts today, the full fest is open today for the first day, and it will go through August 14th. The hourly forecasts are provided by EPAWA throughout the day and updated constantly. You can see that in the bottom right-hand corner of the video here. It has the address of our website that has that information. So if you want to go to that, it's epawaweather.com/musicfest, and that will get you all the information on an hourly basis that is constantly updated and evolving with the storms that are in the vicinity. We will have some more today to contend with, and maybe some on Saturday and Sunday too. We'll get into that here in this video. Today is going to be very similar to yesterday in the sense that you're going to have very little shear to work with. So what shear does is keep storms moving, okay? So they're not just, sitting in one spot. If you don't have enough shear, like we're not expecting today, again, they're going to be moving very, very slowly. They're going to be what's called pulsing storms, which flare up and then die off. They flare up quickly, and then they die off. So those are pulsing thunderstorms. That's what we had yesterday. And that's why we had so much coverage of storms yesterday. The models cannot resolve what happens after the storms pulse down, okay? So what they do is the storms collapse, and you have wind associated with it, and when the storm collapses, it sends out a rush of air out forward. That is called an outflow boundary. Along those outflow boundaries, you could have more storms form. That's exactly what happened yesterday. We had a very hot and a relatively humid environment yesterday that these storms were running into. So we'd have one storm collapse, and then right ahead of it, jumping ahead on the outflow boundary, would be another storm. And we might have that same situation today. The models are not really indicating that, and they can't resolve that. So it's going to be one of those deals that I'm going to show you the simulated radar from the Namm, which looks like this at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is going to be an example of what you're seeing as pulsing. So these storms right here, let's just take a look at these right here. It's showing that these are going to initiate over parts of the Poconos here in the mid-afternoon. Now, this might not be exactly where it is, but just for argument's sake, let's just assume that that's where it is. So these storms are going to ramp up and pulse down, and because there's no shear, so they're not going to be able to sustain themselves. There's then an outflow boundary that runs out in front of it when these storms collapse, kind of like in this direction, right? It's because they're moving in that direction. So the outflow boundary jumps ahead of that. Along that boundary further south, you have more storms form. And the Namm is trying to suggest this as I move this forward. You get these storms here, and they start collapsing. See that? They start collapse right there, and then more storms fire on the outflow boundary, which jumps further to the south. So we could have more scattered showers and thunderstorms that can really just pop up just about anywhere today. And these storms, once they collapse, can form new storms on those outflow boundaries just like we had yesterday. And that's why there's so much coverage, and the models aren't really able to resolve this very well. They don't have the physics to be able to do that because it can't assume. It can see an outflow boundary, but it can't assume a storm's going to form on it. It either does or it doesn't, right? So this is one of those deals we do in nowcasting in real time. And I do think we're dealing with another day of garden variety storms for the most part. I know we had some few stronger storms yesterday and severe thunderstorm warnings that were issued, but those are mostly for hail. We really didn't have any wind reports to deal with. A little bit down here in the far in the Delmarva region, but for the most part, a lot of these warnings that were going up earlier in the day were for hail. Okay, today is not really a hail situation. It's more wind, but I think it's going to be manageable. We're not looking at severe weather today in large part, mostly garden variety storms. But when these storms pulse up, they can become rather robust rather quickly. And then they will, after maybe 15 minutes or 30 minutes, they start to pulse down again. So that's what we're dealing with today. Saturday, the Namm is not really thrilled with too much activity. Here is late in the afternoon and early evening on Saturday. Just has some stuff out here in central PA, really not much else. I don't want to trust that just yet. Again, this is going to be a low shear environment, very low steering flow, again, just like you typically see during the month of August. And there's not a lot of upper air support for this. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out, but we are going to leave at least, somewhat moderate chances, 40%, 50% chance of scattered afternoon or evening thunderstorms on Saturday as well. And then I think when we get to Sunday, it's going to be more isolated. So, excuse me. Moving us forward, here's Friday on the European model showing plenty of activity. So there is that potential. We get to Saturday, it's definitely less, but we're seeing isolated to scattered activity here on the European model for Saturday, and then we get to Sunday, it's even more isolated yet. Okay, so we do have an isolated chance for it's going to keep going down. This boundary is going to be decaying and weakening and kind of dissipating over the area over the next couple of days. Over the weekend, it'll do that, and then we're back to partly cloudy skies here on Monday. We're going to be hot. Today, seasonally hot, 86 to 92, 86 to 90 on Saturday, and then once we get to Sunday, I think we're kind of like what we are today, 86 to 92. Monday, I think we're going to be a little bit hotter, 90 to 94-ish for our highs because we're going to have more sun to contend with here on Monday. And then when we get to Tuesday, we have this cold front moving toward us. The question is timing. Is this going to come in late Tuesday, or is it going to be Tuesday night into Wednesday? We're going to side with that it's going to be Tuesday night and Wednesday right now. That's what it's looking like. All right, so we'll continue to monitor the progress of this because this front here is very important. Once this goes through, it looks like we are going to have a trough settle in behind this. We're going to have cooler temperatures relative to average even. We're going to have near to slightly below average temperatures for a very long stretch, it looks like, which means like low to mid 80s kind of thing, which would be pretty nice with lower humidity, and that's going to arrive after that front clears. Whether that's going to be on Wednesday or Thursday remains to be seen, but we do have temperatures lower on Wednesday with those scattered showers and thunderstorms expected. And then Thursday, we're back to partly cloudy skies. And again, low to mid 80s for highs. I'm BPA WA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for August 5th, 2022. Have a great Friday.